Hi there, today I want to talk about the pros and cons of a minimalist lifestyle. You're going to become very self-aware about everything around you, what you have. The choices that you make, you're going to be really aware of those especially. And maybe that could scare people to think that they will see what is happening around them more easily. And I feel that I notice things more. I don't lose things. I'm aware of my purchases and what I need in a week. I'm more aware of what I own and what I need to do in a day. You're going to reduce your stress and anxiety. Less clutter leads me to having a clearer mind. I'm actually not someone that's prone to stress, and I don't know if it's just because I've had this lifestyle so long, but I don't struggle with anxiety. I really do wonder if part of being a minimalist for almost 19 years is a part of why, because it's like almost half my life. I just feel relaxed. I'm very goal oriented and I just feel very motivated by things. I'll say like, I want to do this and I work towards it. And there's nothing that's distracting me from that because of my awareness. I have such an easier time just not getting distracted by advertisements. I could ignore them, no problem. I don't let them draw me in. When I see them, I kind of roll my eyes and I go, oh, and then it just actually leads me to not want to look on a website for social media where I'm going to see an ad. Instead, it encourages me to try to just step away and do things that I want to do, not things that are wasting my energy. When I go to certain social media websites, I have noticed, especially on anything that's like Facebook, Instagram, and I'm scrolling through on my phone or even if I'm on my computer, and it's like every third or fourth post, instead of me wanting to just like connect with people, I have this thing that's stuck in my face that I'm just really don't want to see. So I just put my phone away. I leave it in my bedroom. I don't really touch my phone much. I have a set time of when I'm going to look at it, and if I do look at it, it's very brief. If I have messages, I'll go actually on my computer to respond to messages so I could type it out faster. But I know that those things, they're just kind of waiting for me, and I don't have to rush to suddenly respond right away. Even if I go to sites like Pinterest, I have ads blocked so I don't even see those. But I'm not really able to go on the computer much, and I like not being on the computer much. I don't really like the idea of being stuck in my phone, and I believe that having a minimalist lifestyle has made me not as interested in that. Not to say that it's bad if you are. There are people that are drawn in different ways, but I definitely see for myself, I'm just tired of it. I have things to do. They're more important, but I'm not in a rush. And I feel like when you're in social media and you see these advertisements, it's like making you want to spend money all the time. It's making you say like, oh, I need that. Now, if I want something, I know where to go. Maybe I'll go to the website eventually if I remember it. And if I don't remember it, I'm like, doesn't matter. Another pro, it causes me to have a greater value in the experiences that I make with my family. When we go on outings, I can just breathe it in. Then I feel at peace. It means that I could use my money on my time with my family. Instead of something that I own, it's something that I could share with my family together. Because a lot of families don't experience things together. They're very separated these days. They don't play games together. They don't go out and learn together. They don't go on family trips as much where they can do road trips. And I really think that's so much fun. I have a more streamlined home. I don't even have like an elaborate place that I live. It's very small. There's nothing really unique and beautiful about it. It's not an open concept. It's not my own house. It's very petite, but with that, it's clean. It's uncluttered, and it makes me feel such peace. You know, I don't even live in a big enough place where my energy isn't going constantly and like, oh, I have to do this and do that. Something that I've noticed a lot of people that are not minimalists, it's like they're constantly having to declutter like over and over and over and over and over again because they just keep gathering stuff. And it's like, didn't you just declutter this thing? And it's because they haven't really taken care of all that stuff. So it's still stressing them out. I don't have that worry. If I need to clean, I could take 5 minutes to do a section of my house and it won't really take that long. Or maybe I'll take a half hour for something that needs a little more energy. But it's not like I have to take my entire day out and I'm not stressed out, and I like doing it. And I feel minimalism causes people to just enjoy cleaning and to not have to do it as much. It's not taking a drain on me. And that just means when I don't have to do all that, I can relax a little more. I could read more. And I've been asked over several years, like, how do you have time for all your hobbies? Or how do you have time to do all these things? And with a toddler, I definitely have less time than I did before having him. And I will say for parents, if you have young kids, you won't have much alone time till your kids are, able to have independent play. on a regular basis, then you'll have a lot more time to yourself, and they'll have their time, and they don't need you constantly. There is a point where that happens. And I had that with my older children. And so with that, I'm able to have more hobbies. And when I have more hobbies, I can just enjoy what I have. And it's fun. Minimalism is fun. And that's something that I don't think comes across enough. I could do so many great things because I have the time. People, they'll say, so many minimalists will say, oh, there are no cons to minimalism. And you're going to hear my con. And maybe it's not much of a con. So there really are none, but realistically, if you care about what other people are going to think about you, that's your con. That's something that you have to learn to grow through and to go through. People give me side comments whenever I go over people's houses. They're like, oh, sorry, it's not clean enough. You know, they'll give me all these different comments expecting me to think of them in a certain way or to judge their house, when I understand that when you have more stuff, it's gonna be rougher. And I'm okay with accepting that your life is not my life. But I feel like it's a lot harder for people to accept that my life is very different from theirs. And so they give me comments, and I've learned to just deal with that because they don't understand how freeing it is to be a minimalist. I could also just sense their unrest. They sound stressed when they give me these comments. And you know what? I have offered people, if they say that, I'll be like, well, I'll help you if you need. And sometimes they're like, will you? And other times they're like, oh, it will take forever. You know, we'll just work for 15 minutes. You know, if you're going to make these comments to me, I'll help you. And it seems like they're more bothered by their messes and by their life than I'm bothered by their messes and their life. So that's why I've learned to just shrug off comments, or if people look at me like, oh, but you don't like stuff, or I can't buy you anything. And it's like, that could be a good thing. I'm saving you money. You don't have to buy me a gift. Isn't that great? Like, you really don't have to. You want to take me out to eat? That's cool. You know, you learn over time. And so these cons, there really are not cons. It's just important to have empathy towards people that are not like you. But minimalism, it's given me more empathy for people that have clutter, that have messes, that have a lot of stuff, that are hoarders. It stresses me out to have that in my own home. And so if that stresses me out, if I were to have that in my home, I can guarantee you that I don't want that for you. So I'm confident enough to not worry about what people think about me. They can mock me for being a minimalist all they want. They could say like, oh, she's a minimalist, like it's a bad thing. I don't think it's bad. I like who I am. If someone's not a minimalist and they have these thoughts about what a minimalist looks like and they haven't experienced it, they're going to have a lot of things that they think will be cons. But then until you become a minimalist, you'll realize there really aren't. And then, yeah, I guess you could say that a con, if you have no self-control, your shopping could be crazy and you could keep having more and more stuff. I feel like minimalism helps me have more self-control. Thank you so much today for listening. Maybe you have some pros and some cons that I didn't list that you want to share. I live with, not to say with intention, but where I'm more understanding and more cognizant of the choices I make. Thank you so much today. I just realized my bangs are probably all crazy. They're really long. So that's me. See, I could have messy bangs and you could have a messy house. Oh, well, it's time for a trim. Bye.